What's up, party people? I'm Erika Edwards, and today we are talking about Life After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 19. This one was actually okay to me. So, you guys, are you ready? Let's get into it. All right, you guys, welcome back. And I am back again to talk Life After Lockup. So, this episode, Always the Bad Guy, I give it a 7 out of 10. It kept me entertained. We kept it moving. And the boring people, well, they didn't get that much time. So, starting with the worst, Branwin and Chaz. Okay, so as we all know from the last episode, Chaz was here to confront her about basically being on like a prostitute website. And she does him like a guy. She flips the script. She basically doesn't really even give him a chance to truly question her. And she's like, okay, well, if you want all those other women, she starts to act almost as if she's jealous of those other women. And we all know she doesn't like him. I was totally shocked when she even slept with him, but maybe I don't know, maybe she needed a check. I'm not sure. But yeah, so she kind of just walks off. And now, even though he was the one who was originally angry, now he's almost begging her to talk to him, which is crazy. And then what she says is not that she's upset that he's talking to other women. She's like, well, maybe he wants to support someone else. So I think this is just an excuse for her to get back with her ex-boyfriend who's now out of prison. I think we know by now, I believe, that they've broken up. So we're kind of just seeing it play out painfully slowly, but it seems like Chaz is finally starting to get a clue a little bit. So, but yeah, good luck to him. All right, next couple we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Puppy and Amber, these lovely ladies. So, last episode, Amber was kind of helping Puppy stalk Eric, but she was horrible at it and they got caught. So in this episode, Amber's having a barbecue. She's having her boyfriend over, Queen. I love Queen. Shout out to her. I mean, she would be an amazing guest on anybody's channel, Queen. So get at me in my DMs, chica. But yeah, so she is having a barbecue. She's having fried shrimp. She's doing the works. And so she invites her guy over, Cece, and his 2 children, which this is her first time sort of meeting them. And they're so cool and kind of awkward sort of teenagers. It was a very cute moment. And then Amber comes with Eric. Puppy comes with Eric. Everybody seems to kind of be cool. Amber gives him a hug. Hope you're not still mad about the other night, blah, blah, blah. Everything is cool. So then, as we all know from the last episode, Amber reached out to Eric's wife, because she's not an ex yet, on Facebook. Or she was talking about doing it. Apparently she did it. Now, what's interesting is Heather, the wife, soon to be ex of Eric, she texts him during this barbecue and says, Amber's been reaching out to me. And that's what set it off right then and there. Then Puppy confronts Amber, or, basically the room gets quiet. Everybody's looking crazy. And then Puppy goes so hard at Amber. And that's the thing that's so tough, because it's like Amber is that friend. This is going to support you, not going to let that guy dog you. And even when you're totally addicted to him, she's going to tell you the real deal. And that's kind of where the emotions explode. I guess at some point they were screaming, yelling, almost about to fight. And I guess Amber, maybe she tried to choke Puppy. Okay, Amber, you wrong, girl. You shouldn't be choking pregnant women. I'm just going to put that out there. That's not a thing. But I felt for Amber because Puppy has been crying on her shoulder. We know this guy is basically married, still halfway in love with his wife, and it's kind of just pulling Puppy along. And then when she revealed that she was pregnant, he wasn't excited. He really seemed like he didn't even he's still thinking about it. We'll just put it there. So he is so happy and basically elated that Puppy is mad at Amber. And he's like, okay, she's so busy trying to make me out to be the bad guy. Now she's the bad guy. No, she's not. And then come to find out later, he calls himself trying to impress Puppy by showing her that he got served. So he's actually going to get a divorce. Why? Because his wife filed. Anybody like me thinking, okay, well, maybe Amber talked to her. Like Amber probably convinced her, let her know a few more clues of what was going on, and that pushed her to file. So Puppy should actually be thankful to Amber. That's what I would say. But needless to say, she's still sort of mad at Amber at the end of this episode. But I hope they get it back together. All right, let's talk next about Brittany and Ray. So Ray has proposed. He's not feeling the whole prenup thing, but honestly, this storyline seems a little contrived, so let's not spend a lot of time on it. So they're both going to their bachelorette and their bachelor party, and so Brandy is really big on, you better watch yourself, you have something to lose, and all this other stuff. And to me, a lot of times she comes off like his mama. Like, you're not his mama, girl. But he's starting to kind of, now that he's out of prison and having a job, he is starting to stand up to her a little bit. So she goes to her bachelorette party where, lo and behold, there are strippers the same way there are strippers at his bachelor party. So it's like, I don't know, kind of, to me, a somewhat lame storyline, but so be it. Okay, you guys, moving along. Let's talk Chance and Tayler. Okay, so a couple of things with them that is so interesting. So one, we know Chance bought a car. So it's so interesting because this is the first time I'm really starting to see Tayler like in a more responsible, like grown woman type situation, okay? Because she's the one who's talking about managing the money, and he surprised her with a car, and she's like, oh yeah, another bill. And so now he wants to spend thousands of dollars on this wedding, and they're going, kind of like Sean and Sarah, they're going to look at reception areas. They're going to look at these different areas, of different places or banquet halls and stuff to have their wedding. And okay, so is anybody else shocked? Like, I'm like, how you getting out of prison with a 750 credit score? Like, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't want to go to prison, but do they have credit score tips in prison? Because like, that's amazing. So Chance tells us he has a 750 credit score. He got approved for like $200,000 loan for a home. He wants to buy a home. He wants to do, investment property. He wants to do all this stuff. And so she's very apprehensive. She basically wants to hold on to the money because she's pregnant. So finally she tells him she's pregnant, and he's excited. And now he's really more gung-ho about spending $30,000 on a wedding, which just seems insane. Like, now that she's pregnant, you could just go to the justice of the peace and like save the money for all the kids that you're going to have. As she mentioned, 4 children. But he thinks she's hiding something. And I don't know. I think some of his sort of controlling, vibes are starting to come out here. So I'm like, okay. But so she kind of wants to pull back and wait on the wedding. And he thinks she's hiding something. So when they go back to the house, turns out Bobby is coming back. She's getting released from rehab or whatever. And I'm kind of like, are you guys going to shove her in that nasty, crazy garage again? Like, that just seems so sad. I would want to stay in rehab, but that's just me. But he's helping the girls get, make a sign or whatever. And he's still kind of hard on Bobby. Like, he really don't want her to be there. So I'm pretty sure she definitely is going to be in the garage. But geez, he's quite a character. But I'm impressed with the 750 credit score and the loan approval. Like, give props where props are due. let's move on to the next couple. All right, you guys, let's talk Kevin and Tiffany and Kayla. Okay. Again, I think that couple is mostly fake, as they would say. I still think they're fake. They seem totally contrived. So after Kevin and Tiffany leave the hookup girl that answered their Craigslist ad or wherever they put the ad out on Tinder or whatever, he drops Tiffany off at work. And he sees, which we know Kayla has been stalking him the whole day. And that's the thing with Kevin that's so trifling. He knows Kayla is cray-cray, but he still engages with her. He knows that that girl Kayla is cuckoo, okay? She is totally crazy. And he still sleeps with her. And he still engages with her like, even though, he's begging Tiffany to come back half the time. So he asks Kayla, like, why? He pulls up, he sees her in the car because she's like Amber, a horrible stalker. And so he's like, what is going on? And she calls every week. She's halfway between confronting him and making him her man. And well, I don't think she's ever said she would be done with him. So, like, if thirsty were a person, it would be her. So he tells her to get in the car because she's like yelling in the middle of the street. And so then he starts like kissing on her. Like, dude, she just stalked you. Literally. She drove to one place and then followed you to another. Like, that is insane. But you're like, woo, let me get some. So basically that's what happens. He takes her back to his place and, they hook up and he gets in the shower. So now this is a slick trick for all of you all that trying to, all of you side pieces out there that want to mess up a happy home or a not so happy home. So she doesn't call. She does a video of herself and she's talking to Kevin while he's in the shower and she's like taping herself. And then she sends it to Tiffany. And Tiffany just looks, I don't even think she responded, at least not, to the text. And she's like, oh, this is my D, bitch. Honey, sweetie, this is community. That's community D. That's not yours. That belongs to the congregation. That belongs to everybody. That's everybody's D. But, but now supposedly Tiffany is like, okay, well, you can have them. That's what she says in the confessional. Honestly, I think all of them are there for the exposure, as you all may or may not know. I know Tiffany and Kayla were posting pics together on Instagram. So maybe they just decide to, become a throuple. I'm not sure. But, it was slightly interesting because I thought it was a creative move to send the video of him in the shower and her talking to him and actually saying, like, we just did it or we slept together or you wore out or something crazy to make it clear that she didn't just creep into his house and steal his phone. So interesting for all the side chicks out there. Interesting for all of you too who are also crazy. She gives you some pointers. All right. Moving right along here. Let's talk. Okay. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk Deontay and Lindsay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the whole time Lindsay has been saying Deontay is blowing up her phone and he's sweating her or whatever. And I think it's just that thing. Like, now that she's out of prison, she's not feeling him like she was. And maybe living with Blaine, she is starting to feel Blaine. And here is why. So watch this clip and let me know. I have a clip for you guys to check out and to really take a look at and see if you can tell the moment that Lindsey, excuse me, that's what they are. They're Lindsey. Okay, that's the name of them. That is the couple's name, Lindsey. I've made a word. Okay, so let's watch this quick clip of Lindsey right here. Let me show you guys.
No, it's not it. I love being around you all the time. I do. What?
All right there. That moment when she smiled and you knew, okay, all the time she's been saying, oh, he's like a brother, he's like a brother, he's like a brother. But when she actually gussed, meanwhile, she told Deontay, I don't know if it's her or the producers, but she knew Deontay was on the way. She told him to come. So, why would she even engage in a kiss and she knows Deontay could just pop up? So she and Deontay, they go for a drive and he's kind of like, what's going on? And they're kind of getting into it because she's like, I have to work. And as soon as she gets in the car with Deontay, Blaine texts her and she texts right back. And that's the thing, men and women, when you see that, okay, this person knows how to treat somebody, they just not treating you right, that's when you know it's time to go. But, Deontay is kind of like, well, yeah, if I keep blowing you up, you should just answer the phone. And I get what she's saying. Everybody needs their space. And she's actually feeling smothered because of Deontay's pursuit of her. But dang, it's like, okay, you're not calling him for days. That doesn't make sense. Like, she can either do something in the morning, send something quick in the evening, but clearly for her, she's starting to lose interest. And Deontay is holding on. He gives her, because he came for her birthday, so he gives her this really cute framed photos of her and her daughter, and she really likes it. But I never saw him actually say to her, I just saw you kiss old boy. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the thing, just because it's kind of like when they say, just because you paranoid don't mean people ain't chasing you. Just because he's jealous don't mean she's not messing around. And that's the issue. Yes, he's acting overbearing, overprotective, borderline Kayla, stalkerish, peeping in windows and stuff. But that being said, feelings are popping off clearly between Lindsey and Blaine. And I think this is the beginning of the end for Deontay and Lindsey. Like, it's a wrap. I don't see how, if she's not willing, and she did it kind of like what Branwin did. She kind of flipped the script. She didn't give him a chance to say anything about the kiss, say anything about how Blaine was hugged up on her in Deontay's face. Nevertheless, she's walked off like, no, I'm out of here. F you. She's gone. So that's the thing, ladies. That's how men do. They're not going to engage. Don't engage. If you're not there for the argument, you can't lose it. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end for Deontay and Lindsey. I think, I think Brittany and Ray, I don't know. They're kind of boring. They'll get married. Everything will be fine. But I do think this is the beginning of the end for Deontay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all of the places. And leave something down in the comments. Let me know how you guys felt about this episode. Ciao for now, folks. Bye.
Do it, oh yeah, do it, oh yeah.